Wednesday Without Death. Wednesday Without Death is a character that appears beyond the paratext of Heir to the Stars. With the influx of the enemy armies came the continuous quantum forecast and metaphysical analysis of every fragment they could find. It seemed that the armies were overconfident in their greater sum of a flaw that Wednesday Without Death proposed to point out, both factually and metaphorically, to her associates. As they assembled at the convocation, it became obvious that the army surpassed the reality of numbers, with each army being mastered by a being that was superior than the 7 trials to glory. Wednesday Without Death created a plan where she would have a few daggers in suborbital positions, with a strike team on the helm of the vanguard to advance to the highest point at the earliest opportunity in order to dismantle each leader in unison. In the intervening phase in which time could not exist, Wednesday Without Death would lead a single battalion into the den of devils and monarchs. With no other practical options left in the possibility and actuality, they began the demanding task of preparing the Omniverse's final defenses. Several phases would pass as Wednesday Without Death made sure her allies knew what they were up against. This was not going to be a war in which they could win, but a single momentary fight. Soon they sensed it, the pureness of nothingness as it signaled their enemy's arrival. Universes turned into ash, dimensions were pulled apart, the infinite and the endless were reduced into a memory that never was, and wave function collapses echoed throughout all hypothetical mathematical frameworks of existence. Explosions upon explosions, definitions falling from place. The battle was here. Wednesday Without Death knew that this was just the beginning, and as she joined the others in the assault, the battlefield almost retreated as it could see the forbidding fortitude in her eyes. One of the abilities of Wednesday Without Death is the Royal Hunting Ground. With this, Wednesday Without Death blurs the principle of determinism, creating a formulated fallacy in which facts about the past, that which was written, and phases already acted upon, metaphysically can be undone, or have all future facts determined or necessitated. Royal Hunting Ground controls statements of law and statements of particular facts at a time, as well as statements of particular facts at any later time. Royal Hunting Ground takes into account that universal systems that state that determinism neither entails physicalism nor is entailed by it. Possible worlds where determinism is true and physicalism false. Worlds where minds are non-physical things which nevertheless obey deterministic laws. And there are possible worlds, perhaps our own, where physicalism is true and determinism false. When this comes into conflict, Royal Hunting Ground blurs the principle of pure act and will. God's Grave is an ability Wednesday Without Death is able to utilize by exiling a mode or attribute from continuity, making it that a character or a specific element or elements of a universe that are declared off limits for potentiality or actuality, be it in universe or in another version of that universe. Depending on the scope of the cosmic hierarchy, some modes and attributes are made non-canonical as they technically still exist, but can't be used depending on the situation, shifting their status to simply imaginary. She has other abilities also, which I'll drop in the link below, but Wednesday Without Death is a very prominent character that's going to make quite the waves in Heir's ending that's going to be released in a few weeks.